All right. Welcome to the front, the most unoptimized game of 2025. We are going to do the level 80 maze. Now, you can do this with probably two good level 80 rocket guys, 120 rocket guys. But I happen to have a lot more. One player can put one down at a time. Okay. So I want to show you. All right, we got our rocket guys. You got to make sure the targeting is set correctly. Active attack, stand guard, distance or HP, whichever you prefer. If you have it on distance, it's going to shoot the closest ones. HP is going to do the ones with the highest amount of HP, I believe. Not sure if I remember. You want everything to be on high range. You want await orders. All right, you can target attack. Right now, on the newer servers, they're so unoptimized that I can't even get this maze to really work. I got it up to level 40 the day, or 42 the day that they did the update, and the frames were better. They were like cut in half, and then I don't know. It's just by the end of the day, it was shit again. So what happens is it lags so bad that the NPCs can't target the mobs. So they're just, oh shit, they just stand there. I'm going to go down for that. All right, so what we're going to do here is I'm going to show you kind of how this works. And this is a glitch, but it's been around since the freaking games came out. The developers know about it. They don't do anything about it. It is what it is. It is the most cost-effective way to do the horde. I mean, you don't have to build a massive box like this. You don't have to go crazy with it. So essentially what you do is you build a box around the lure, and you make sure that you build a floating door. So all you got to do for that is make sure that you have your foundations raised off the ground a little bit. 2x2s are better. And then you just wall over. You put a foundation in. You put the doorway in. You put the door in. And then you remove the foundation from the bottom. It'll be a one foundation. So 1x1. This is just something they added to keep the jumpers from crawling out. The double door is just like an extra layer of protection so they don't like break the shit out of your base. But that's really it. You just gotta, that's the bread and butter, the meat and potatoes. All right, so I'm gonna show you how this works. Now, this is something that's been a problem. I'm on a 4090 with a 7800 X3D CPU. And I am getting 32 frames. Look at this. This is but look at my ping is 110 on NA, and I live in NA, right? Now on the new server, everybody's running at 240, with just like 10 people online. It's ridiculous. So like whatever the Chinese cheaters do, I'm telling you, man, they wreak havoc on the performance. Like, I don't know if it's their duping. I don't know if it's their admin mode where they're spawning in stuff. I don't know what it is. Alright. So, it's pretty much autopilot. You don't have to do the turrets for the birds, but I like to. I didn't build this maze. Actually, Albert did. He's a Chinese player. And you want to have above your doors somewhere a roof that makes... you got these devil guys. They like to climb up the walls, and if you put the roof on, they just fall back down. It's really critical to wrap it in barriers for the higher levels. Wherever your beacon is, that's where all the rocket guys are going to shoot at the wall. But if you don't make sure that your barriers are pushed up against as tight as you can, meshing into the wall, what happens is it creates a shelf, and those devils will sit on it and they'll go invincible. Because their pathing will be blocked. Now, you don't have to have 4. I recommend 3 or 4, you know, but it's just more fast. You can do it with 1 phalanx. It does eat up ammo. There's a cost, but in the past, when we didn't have rocket guys, we just did this with devastators. It's super expensive, but I mean, these rocket guys are level like 120, some of them, you know, so like, you gotta watch their HP too. That one got shot up a little bit. The snipers will hurt them. You don't want to let them get shot up. This one's not shooting because I think it's Albert's, and He's not near him. If you have friends or alt accounts, you just gotta make sure that you are going offline near your, or hanging out near your followers, or they won't shoot. They won't activate, right? Another problem is the AI will target things outside the walls, and sometimes they get stuck. Like, it's annoying, right? Like, this guy's probably watching a crawler outside. Now they're all distracted. So what I recommend is if you're up high or down low, stand kind of on the side of your door, but don't stand right in front of your door if you're low, because then all the machine gunners will start shooting at doors, right? But that's kind of the meat and potatoes. Another issue the developers need to fix is sometimes NPCs will get stuck behind the creature lure, that red thing down there, and what happens is that the NPCs can't target them. So if you can keep your lure as close to the door as possible, you get the most splash damage, right? So if something's stuck there and they're shooting everything on the door, they're probably going to kill whatever is stuck on the creature lure. It's imperative to not put your beacon on the other side of the door, because everything will start shooting at either you or your beacon. And if you are in a bad spot, or your beacon is, it'll blow open your door. You don't want that. The doors are expensive. So you want to repair them. All that jazz. One of the big things, I see that he's climbing up, and then he'll hit the ceiling. Sometimes they phase through. You gotta watch out for that. And you gotta watch your numbers, because if your numbers of enemies aren't going down, they might be stuck or glitching and not taking damage. It used to be that you would get loot bags and all these guys. Now it's just the bosses, and then the end trial, you know, when you go to the beacon and hit, you know, accept claim. They do need to make a key that allows you to go down your ladder instead of having to, Someone took out my ladder. That ladder used to go all the way up. Fuck. Why do they do that, I wonder? Huh. There is a bug right now where they'll keep shooting at them when they're dead. So just be advised of that. Like, this is the best jackhammer I've found. I also think they made it really hard to get... Oh man, that was so low. I also think they make it really hard to get, like, legendary jackhammers and tools. And exotic. Like, it seems to be you can find them at mines. But you just gotta play the game a little bit and loot everything and hit all the POIs and just hit the shit out of everything. And you'll start figuring out where loot is. I haven't found anything in regards to Titan blueprints yet. So this was our method before. The best I've gotten is red exotungsten. Yeah, I think... Oh, okay. They just made it more... Ooh, wow. 2 of them? What? They stack? Oh, that is broken. Okay. So it looks like maybe only on level 80, or they just greatly reduced. So you could still find Titan blueprints from this. That is huge. They're 296s though. They're not great. But the upshot is you're gonna get Titan blueprints. There's not a massive difference. Oh, they got stairs too between titanium and tungsten at the exo level. So I mean, the biggest thing is that Titan is obviously more, but it's so much cheaper to craft Titan. So much easy, like so much time wise cheaper, right? Because the crafting the mats and getting the mats. That's funny. So anyway, guys, there's my video on how to do a level 80 maze. Like I said, okay, so the biggest thing is, okay, like, this would not work, right? Now, if I remove this foundation, as long as there's a little tiny gap under the door, it'll work. So basically what it's telling the AI is, hey, the pathing is open, and it's not, right? You don't have to go excessive like this. Sometimes you do because maybe uphill it won't work out. What I started doing is I actually, you see how he's got these pillars around? What I like to do is I like to wrap it in barriers, and then I like to wrap it in these pillars all the way around, and then do another skirting, and then do another titanium barrier wall, and so on, right? And then what I like to do is I like to make this a death tower, and then I put on the outside, I put another layer of these pillars, and I put all my turrets on those. Here's a thing that people do that's really stupid. They'll take open floors and put turrets on them, right? Okay, so it's fine if you do, like, Titan, but I want to show you something. If you have a turret, it's in particular phalanx. You got 24,500, but by the way, you can use a follower to get buffed up health on your building pieces and everything, and your turrets. So you want to make sure, like, look at this. 28,000, 24,000. You want to make sure that your floor has more, or at least close to the same health as your turret, because if, say you're getting raided, they're going to just look at binoculars and look at the floor, and they're just going to blow the floor out from under it, right? I like to put them on foundations, because these sides are also, like, if you can line it up right, you can LOS, line of sight the turret, and they can't target you, right? You don't want to put it right on the building, because then you can smush yourself underneath it and just shoot up. Which you can't really look directly up. I'll show you. It's really tough. Like, you really can't. Like, you can look up like this, free looking, and that's your center click, but that's it. That makes sense? Alright, guys, thanks for watching.